There were many games that came out for the Nintendo Switch in 2022. Bayonetta 3 was one of them. Bayonetta 3 was announced at the 2017 Game Awards. We saw a nice little teaser trailer and then we didn't hear much about it. Things got so bad that there was even a Twitter account dedicated to how little news there was about Bayonetta 3. It was actually pretty funny. But Bayonetta 3 did come out finally after 4 years. Actually, it was almost 5 years. I was excited to play it, and after beating the game, I was left with some mixed feelings. Let's start with the good. Bayonetta 3 continues to have the great hack and slash gameplay of the first two games. I had a lot of fun doing all these cool combos and killing all these enemies in all these fast-paced encounters. Speaking about the speed of this game, I wear glasses, but I didn't realize how bad my eyes really are because I beat this game, never realizing that it was struggling a lot of times to maintain even 30 FPS. I also liked the variety of gameplay Bayonetta 3 had. You had the usual gameplay with Bayonetta, then you had the new character Viola, which she played pretty similar to Bayonetta, but there were some differences that gave her a kind of unique playstyle. Like how to activate Witch Time with Bayonetta, you have to do a well-timed dodge. But with Viola, you activate Witch Time by parrying, which I was terrible at. And honestly, I think it might have been a game issue as well, because there was an update to adjust the timing of her parry. It's too bad it came out the day after I already beat the game. Then you had Jeanne's missions. Her gameplay segments were like 2D stealth missions. I didn't think they were too bad. Another thing I liked about Bayonetta 3 was that it still had a lot of charming characters and was constantly funny like the previous two games. Even though I will say Viola was a huge loser, but I think that was the point. I think a lot of people didn't find her comedic bits funny, but I remember them making me laugh, or at least getting a couple of nose exhales out of me. But despite her being really lame and kind of cringeworthy, I wouldn't say I hated Viola. I also found Bayonetta 3's story to be good. Until it wasn't, but we'll get to that, okay? I'm not really big on multiverse media, but I thought it was really cool seeing all the different Bayonettas from different universes come into the universe where this Bayonetta exists. Even if all the different Bayonettas only did one or two cool things and then immediately died. But hey, at least we got cool weapons out of their deaths, so that's pretty cool. I guess the homunculus also had some cool enemy designs as well. But Bayonetta enemies always look cool, or at least a lot of them do, so I don't think anyone was worried about that. But yeah, for the most part, I enjoyed Bayonetta 3's story. Okay, I guess I have said all the good things I can think about when talking about Bayonetta 3. I guess it's time to talk about the bad parts of Bayonetta 3, which is just basically the whole ending. But yeah, if you haven't played Bayonetta 3 yet and wanted to go in blind, then I guess stop watching this video. Play it and just remember to come back to this video. Alright, I think I've talked long enough. Let's get into spoilers. So while I was playing Bayonetta 3, I kept seeing people saying the ending was really bad. And I was thinking for most of my playing time that it's just the internet over-exaggerating things again. But nope, that ending was definitely something. So at the end of Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta dies and confesses her love to Luka. She does this whole speech about how she's always been in love with him. The problem is, this whole scene comes out of nowhere. While Bayonetta and Luka have interacted a lot in the first two games, me and a ton of other players never saw this as them being in love with each other. Now, I'm not one of those weirdos who treat their headcanon as fact. I'm just being for real. Bayonetta just kinda messes with Luka throughout the whole series. At most, it just seemed like they might be friends. But yeah, this romantic relationship just kinda comes out of nowhere and doesn't make sense. Also, the ending kind of undermines Bayonetta a little bit. Because one of her character traits is that she's a strong independent woman and she don't need no man. She'll kill the big monster by herself and look cool while doing it. But in the ending, she seems kind of helpless and needs Luka to save her. I wouldn't say this is character ruining, but it definitely was something that seemed off to me. Speaking about her death, she dies the same way John dies. Oh yeah, by the way, John dies too. Anyways, both Jeanne and Bayonetta just get stabbed in the back, which is very out of character, because as the player, we just played multiple games where these cool witches are dodging all these attacks, so it just seems unrealistic that anyone or anything would sneak up on them and kill them. I think with Bayonetta, she was at least injured, but I'm pretty sure Jeanne was fine. She just straight up got snuck up on. I don't know, the whole thing just kinda made me go, okay, but they wouldn't die like that though. Another thing I had a problem with is that some things just never got an explanation. During Bayonetta 3, you fight this werewolf boss a couple of times, and it turns out that Luka is the werewolf. It is never explained why Luka turned into a werewolf. Also, I see you typing there. I know you're typing. Why does he say it like a toddler? It's just whatever. I can't say werewolf. Just get over it. It is just a thing that happened. Like for real, I feel like they could have at least given a quick explanation, but nope, we got nothing. Also, more importantly, in Bayonetta 3, the enemies are not angels or demons. This time it's the homunculus. The game never explains why the main bad guy is trying to destroy the world. I don't know. Maybe the game gave a reason in one of the collectible books of lore, but I didn't read those. So yeah, me and everyone who played this game never really found out the motivations of the bad guy. He was just evil for the sake of being evil. I know this game had a troubled development, so maybe his motivations just happened to be cut content. Or maybe Platinum Games just straight up forgot. But yeah, it was definitely weird how we never got a reason for why the bad guy was doing this. So yeah, Bayonetta dies and the credits roll. But wait, there's an epilogue where you play as Viola. By the way, before Bayonetta dies, it's revealed that Viola is Bayonetta and Luka's kid. I would say it's a twist, but you can kind of figure it out. It's not really subtle at all. Anyways, you play as Viola, you fight like this Bayonetta spirit oil monster thing, and after beating the monster, Viola has one more conversation with Bayonetta. And it's a nice mother and daughter talk, I guess. But then Bayonetta says something along the lines of, "Don't call yourself Viola, you should call yourself," and then what she says next is muted. And automatically, I was like, oh, don't you tell me they just pulled a Rey Skywalker on us. Please don't let that be what just happened. Then we get a scene at Rodon's bar, and Viola is talking to him. Then he says goodbye to her, and he says Viola, but she turns to him and says, "Call me Bayonetta," and then the game ends. And yeah, I didn't like that at all. As previously stated, I didn't hate Viola, but she is not Bayonetta. I don't really think she did anything in the story in order for her to be able to take up the title of Bayonetta. She just doesn't have the style to live up to the name, and I really wish the devs didn't do that. Because it's like, bro, that's not Bayonetta, that's Viola. They really did pull a Rey Skywalker with the ending of this game, unfortunately. So yeah, Bayonetta 3 was a mixed bag of a video game. It did some things right, but it did some things wrong, mostly the ending. I mean, besides an earlier segment where the two Bayonettas from the previous games come out through portals and you play as them to beat the final boss, Bayonetta 3's ending is a huge mess, and I don't know what they can do for a hypothetical fourth game. I don't think going forward with a sequel where Viola is the main character is the best idea, because while I found the character likable, she really was a dork, and she's not cool. I feel like with these hack and slash games, your character has to be badass, and well, Viola was lacking in that department. I guess they could do a fourth game with Bayonetta again. I mean, I don't think every single Bayonetta in existence is dead, but yeah, I'm not really sure what the future of the series is. I know that Bayonetta Origins game came out, but I don't know if it was any good. But I do hope we get a fourth game, even though I have no idea how they are going to continue this series. Anyways, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe if you like what you saw. I have been Crazy Blood Monkey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.